All right, back again for another deep dive, and today we are going to be talking about a really, really interesting match from this weekend in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
Manchester United at home at Old Trafford against Brighton and Hove Albion.
Brighton.
Now, Brighton won this match 3-1.
Yeah.
And, on the surface, you see that scoreline, you think, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
A decent win for Brighton, but it was much more than that.
It was.
And we've got some excerpts from a match report here that we're going to be diving deep into.
Yeah, let's get into it.
So first of all, it's like a 3-1 win for Brighton.
Yeah. I mean, that right there is shocking in itself.
At Old Trafford.
We got to let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Manchester United at Old Trafford, losing to Brighton.
Losing to Brighton, yeah.
3-1. Like, what is going on in the world?
And it's not just like a one-off, fluke result.
Exactly. This is like a pattern that's emerging now.
Yeah. This win makes it 3 losses in a row for Manchester United at home.
Yeah.
Against Brighton.
Against the same opponent. 3 home losses.
Think about that for a second. Like, how many teams have Manchester United played at Old Trafford over the years?
Over the decades. Over the history of the Premier League.
The history of the Premier League.
This is only the 3rd time it's happened.
The 3rd time that's happened to them in Premier League history.
Yeah.
Like, that's
crazy. Think about all the teams.
That is pretty crazy. It's wild. Yeah. And it's not like, they were barely scraping by in these wins either.
No.
Like, they really took it.
They were dominant wins. Brighton were in control.
To Manchester United.
They were controlling the tempo. They were dictating the play. They were just a better side on the day, and they've been a better side than Manchester United over the last, like you said, 3 matches at Old Trafford.
Yeah, and actually, like, looking at the match report, it actually started really, really well for Brighton. They actually got a goal within the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes in, Yankuba Minta gets on the score sheet. A fantastic finish.
Assisted by Mitoma.
Yes, beautiful assist from Mitoma. And, that kind of set the tone early on.
Yeah. I mean, getting a goal that early, especially against a team like Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
It's got to be demoralizing.
It really puts the pressure on, you're at home, you're expected to win.
You're expected to win.
You go down a goal early, like, you're chasing the game from minute 5.
It completely changes the dynamic, yeah.
Exactly.
But, as we know, Manchester United are not a team to just kind of roll over.
Right.
And they did eventually get an equalizer.
They did. They got a penalty kick. Bruno Fernandes stepped up and slotted it home.
Yeah, classic Bruno Fernandes.
Never in doubt when he steps up for a penalty.
Cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
And so that penalty was actually given because Carlos Baleba, the Brighton midfielder, fouled Joshua Zirkzee in the box.
A little bit of a clumsy challenge there from Baleba. But, these things happen in football.
Yeah, it happens.
It's a fast-paced game. Sometimes you make rash decisions.
Sometimes you miss time a tackle.
Exactly. You got to live with the consequences.
Yeah, so 1-1 at that point. But it sounds like even though they got that equalizer, Brighton were still very much in control.
They didn't let that penalty, derail them or, knock them off their game.
Yeah.
They just kept to their game plan. They kept pressing. They kept creating chances.
And they were rewarded for it later on.
Yeah.
Because they actually had a goal disallowed.
They did, yeah.
Which I think is worth talking about because this VAR, video assistant referee.
The bane of many of football fans' existence.
Yeah, I mean.
But it's here to stay. So we got to get used to it.
It is here to stay. Yeah. And it's, it's changed the game.
It has.
In a lot
of ways, both good and bad. But yeah, in this instance, VAR intervened.
So João Pedro thought he had scored for Brighton.
Yeah, looked like a good goal at first glance. But VAR took a second look.
Yeah, they took a look.
And they spotted a foul by Jan-Paul on Diogo Dalot.
Yeah, in the build-up to the goal.
Yeah, so it was, a tight one.
A very tight one.
But, VAR deemed it a foul. The ref went over to the monitor, had a look, and, disallowed the goal.
So that's tough. You think you've scored.
Yeah.
And then,
it's taken away from you.
Minutes later, you find out it's not going to count.
Cruel sometimes, football.
It is cruel sometimes, yeah.
But that's the nature of the game.
And it makes it even more exciting when they do actually get another goal.
Right.
And this time it was Mitoma.
Yeah.
Again, assisted by Benta. Those two were electric today.
A great partnership forming there. But yeah, Mitoma slots it home. And you know what's amazing about that goal?
What's that?
That goal made Mitoma the highest scoring Japanese player in Premier League history.
Oh, wow.
Pretty incredible.
That's a huge accomplishment.
It is. It speaks volumes about, the globalization of the Premier League.
Yeah, the talent that's coming in.
Yeah.
From all over the world.
From all corners of the globe.
Yeah.
And yeah, Mitoma's a fantastic player.
Yeah, he really is. And so at this point, 2-1 Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Manchester United are kind of on the ropes.
They're struggling. They're looking for answers, and they're just not finding them.
They're not finding them, and then it kind of gets worse.
Yeah, it does.
Because their goalkeeper, Andre Onana.
Onana? Yeah.
Makes a pretty costly error.
A howler. A real howler.
Yeah, so he mishandles this cross.
Yeah, just spills it.
Yeah.
Right into the path of Jorginho Rutter.
Rutter, yeah, the Brighton forward. And he's not going to miss from there.
No easy tap in for Rutter.
Yeah.
And that's game over.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, at that point, 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
Brighton are just in complete control.
Yeah, they just see out the rest of the match professionally.
Yeah, no problem. And so, I think it's worth talking about, like, the bigger picture implications of this.
Absolutely, because this match, it wasn't just about 3 points. It was about, the statement it made.
Yeah.
About where these two clubs are at.
So Brighton, move up to 9th in the table.
9th place, yeah.
Which is incredible.
Amazing for them. And, they're within touching distance of European qualification spots.
I mean, that's got to be exciting for Brighton fans.
It is. It's a dream come true to see their club potentially playing in Europe.
Yeah, like even just a few years ago, that seemed like
unthinkable, like a pipe dream.
An impossible dream.
Yeah, but and now it's a real possibility.
Absolutely. And, full credit to them.
Yeah.
Their manager, Fabian
Hertzler, yeah, he's done an incredible job.
Yeah, he really has. And so on the flip side of that, we have Manchester United.
Yeah.
Who are currently 13th in the table.
13th. Oof, that's gotta hurt.
That's gotta hurt. Yeah, and just to put that into perspective.
Yeah.
They're closer to the relegation zone than they are to the top 4.
Which is just crazy to think about. For a club of Manchester United's stature.
It's wild, yeah. And to make matters even worse, this is their 6th loss in their last 7 matches.
Yikes.
Against Brighton.
Brighton have got their number.
Brighton have got their number, yeah.
It's like they figured out the code to unlock Manchester United's defense.
It really does seem that way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you make of all this?
Well, I think it's a sign of the times.
Yeah.
The Premier League is changing.
Yeah.
The old guard is being challenged.
Yeah.
New forces are emerging. And Brighton are a prime example of that.
And so the question is, can they keep it up?
Right. Can they maintain this level of performance? Can they challenge for a European spot?
That's the big question. Yeah.
It's a long season. There's a lot of football left to be played.
There's a lot of football.
But they've shown that they have the quality.
They've got the talent.
Yeah.
They got the tactics.
The tactical discipline.
And they've got the belief.
The belief, yeah. And that's crucial, I think.
So it's going to be really exciting to see how they do.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on them for the rest of the season.
Yeah, me too. And for now, Brighton fans, enjoy this win.
Enjoy it.
Savor it.
You deserve it. It's a historic victory.
It really is. And we'll be back next week for another Deep Dive.
Can't wait.
See ya.